What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Duran Duran, and we're going back to their 1987 concert in San Diego once more. Shout out to Adam for making this available. And we're going to listen to the tune Union of the Snake, which actually is sort of nostalgic for me now, in the sense that it reminds me of the very earliest stages of my Duran Duran deep dive, which seems like a long time ago, but I think it was actually only about 6 months ago, maybe slightly longer than that. But yeah, ultimately it does make me nostalgic in the sense that it reminds me of the beginning of, the sort of the journeys and experiences and musical party that this channel has become. I had started to react to the Rio vinyl that I had, and I mentioned during one of those reactions that I also had a 12-inch Union of the Snake, which I didn't remember at all. Again, over the years I picked up a lot of 80s vinyl. Sometimes people have donated, like a crate of records. Other times, I have bought specific ones at record shops. But a lot of my 80s vinyl was sort of inherited or given to me by other people, and in some cases I just haven't gone through and listened to everything. So when I went to react to that, I was like, I don't remember this song at all. It's in my collection, but I may not have listened to it. And when I did that reaction, I think Izzy and a couple other people commented that, his lyrics, Simon Le Bon, they're a bit notoriously cryptic. They can sort of set a scene or paint a picture, but they don't necessarily fill in every detail, and they leave a bit up to mystery or to interpretation. So this was my first experience of really beginning to understand that Simon's songwriting is very unique. He has his own style, and it's definitely, again, a bit cryptic, I think is the right term, but often with enough sort of metaphor or direct statement that you do get a sense of where it's going. But it is interesting because I remember Izzy saying at the time that this is a song that he clearly had in his mind for a couple years, because he had the phrase, I think, with an associated picture written in his notebook, which people explained to me that his notebook is something that he had kept his poetry in and was part of why the band was impressed with his songwriting abilities in the first place and brought him into the group. So yeah, this just makes me think about a lot of things I learned very early on in the deep dive. Now, admittedly, I think when I reacted to it on the vinyl, I reacted to the remix, which, it's reconfigured, I think maybe it's extended, and it wasn't until later in the deep dive that I went back and I reacted to the proper single version. So, bottom line, this tune makes me nostalgic. I do remember enjoying it sonically as well. Admittedly, I haven't listened to it in a hot minute, so it'll be interesting to hear this live performance, because I may not be able to distinguish exactly where it might depart. Now, I imagine, again, in the wake of the Notorious album and this being a tour in support of the album, I expect to maybe get a bit more of that sort of percussive jazz kind of styling. So I guess we'll find out. This is a live performance of Union of the Snake by Duran Duran at their concert in San Diego, 1987.
We're going to play you a song about indecision. With the devil on your left shoulder, an angel on the right. There is only one choice you can make, that of the Union of the Snake.
From the horse's mouth, which is not to call Simon a horse, to be clear. Take my ears off the guitar work. cellos play their cellos. Mr. Rhodes doing some interesting things as well. Say, like, the bass as the bedrock of it all. Their ability to play some really compelling instrumental bits, sort of groove sections at the end of these live performances is really standing out to me as we start going through some different concerts. It's like they just push the sonics to a slightly higher level in the last little bit of a song. And yeah, it felt like that was expanded. Certainly, I think the guitar work was more intense, more wicked than on the original version, which isn't a shot like at Andy or anything. It's just saying that, like, that was really standing out to me in this performance, whereas, you know, hearing the original, both like the remix and the single version, it was more, I was thinking about kind of a blend of the sounds, whereas that one, again, I heard the other elements, I was hearing the bass, I was hearing Simon's voice, there were a couple moments where the synths were catching my ear, but it was really hard to take my ears off of that incredible shredding guitar work. So yeah, once again, big shout out to Warren. Do let me know what you think of this performance. Absolutely loved it. It's a song that, like, it has both nostalgic sympathy to my brain and also like sonic. Like it sounds really good, but it's also sort of like a special tune to me now, given everything that's happened in the last year. So in any case, let me know what you think of this one. I will see you next time. Peace.